Hi, myself Dr. Avinash Trivedi, Professor in Department of Computer Science and Engineering, JIMS, Greater Noida. Today, the topic of discussion is JVM as an interpreter and emulator. And the subtopics which we will cover in this presentations are these. So, when we talk about programming in Java, then what softwares are needed? For Java, we require Java Development Kit. And earlier it was free of cost, but now it has been occupied by Oracle, so we need to get permission of Oracle, but we can download very easily. So what it includes? It includes Java runtime environment, an interpreter, loader, compiler, archiver, a document generator, and other tool needed for Java development. So what is JRE, Java Runtime Environment? A runtime environment is a piece of software that is designed to run other software. As the runtime environment for Java, the JRE contains the Java class libraries, the Java class loader, and Java virtual machine. So in JDK, there is JRE, Java Runtime Environment, that is mandatory to execute Java program. And what is inside the JRE? Inside the JRE, there is JVM, Java Virtual Machine. The machine that is not physically exist, but that is a software kind of machine that translates high level language or middle level language into low level language. And this gives platform independence to Java programming language. The JRE mainly a container for those other components and is responsible for orchestrating their activities. So we need to understand what is JVM. JDK contains JRE, JRE contains JVM. So Java Virtual Machine is an abstract machine. It is called a virtual machine because it does not physically exist. But to make Java platform independent, JVM is very much required. In Java, we convert our source code into bytecode, and bytecode is platform independent. And to run bytecode, we require JVM. And JVMs are different for different machines. JVM for Windows is different from JVM for Unix or any other platform. So in this figure, we can understand what JRE contains, Java Runtime Environment contains. It has class loader and bytecode verification. What is bytecode? When we compile our Java source code, then we get bytecode. And to run bytecode, we require Java interpreter. And where we run this code? We run this code with the help of JVM. So there are other class libraries like if there are drawing components. Drawing components means there is button or other visual components that creates your user interface very nice in terms of looking. And net is there. Net is if you are having your application with network facility, then net packages or libraries are used for input output communication. IO libraries there, and there are other libraries also that is contained in JRE. So once you have used class loader and bytecode verifier, then role of JVM comes, and one instance of JVM execute one program. And what are there in JVM? In JVM, there are Java interpreter, garbage collection, threading, etc. Java interpreter means line by line executor of your bytecode. Garbage collection means the objects which are no more in use are cleared by garbage collectors. So programmer need not to worry about unused objects. And multi-threading is also present. It means any program is subdivided into the different processes, and that property has been maintained by threading component. And there are other components also. So if we see the picture of this presentation, see in this case, overall thing is your JDK, Java Development Kit. And what it contains? It contains Java runtime environment plus development tool. To develop your application, we require many things. So JDK contains JRE plus development tool. And what JRE contains? JRE contains Java Virtual Machine plus library classes, and library classes are used to show various related classes and components. So how we differentiate JDK, JRE and JVM? So JDK contains your JRE plus development tool, and Java runtime environment produce the environment for running any application, and JVM is a software kind of virtual machine for execution of bytecode. Without JVM, we cannot run any bytecode. So we will discuss how JRE and JDK works. To understand it deeply, we need to understand what JRE contains. JRE contains deployment technologies, and which comprises Java Web Start and Java plugins. Plugins are, or Java starts are component that are used in running any bytecode. And there are user interface toolkit also. If you want to develop beautiful UI, then you can use AWT or Swing sort of techniques for image processing, for IO, for print services, sound, drag and drop, etc. are present here. And there is integration libraries also, interface definition language, ideal to connect with database. There is JDBC, and JNDI is just to name where your interface or classes are there. Remote method invocation when your application is distributed application. And if you are interested to use internet, component is there. And RMI IIOP scripting is also present. Other libraries like networking support libraries or XML processing, Java native interface. Java native interface helps in using components which are written in other languages like C, C++. Those things are also supported by base libraries. There is Lang and util based libraries, that is just to compress your components or codes in one archive file. There are collections, concurrencies, utilities, and many other things are present. And it contains Java virtual machine. And without Java virtual machine, you cannot run your bytecode. Different JVMs. So as we know, our Java is object-oriented programming language, and platform-independent language. But 100% platform independence is not possible because Java source code is okay, and once you compile this code, it becomes bytecode, and bytecode is platform independent. This bytecode you can run in any machine, whether that is Solaris or Window based or Unix Linux based, that you can run. But there is dependencies on JVM. JVM is always platform dependent. So JVM for Windows will be different, JVM for Solaris will be different, JVM for Unix will be different. So there is platform dependence, but at the level of JVM. And bytecodes are your platform independent, and you can create in one machine and use in any other machine. So we need to understand what JVM does. So there are three things which completes the interpretation process. So what different tasks are? It loads code, verifies code, execute code, and provide runtime environment. So loading of bytecode and verification of bytecode, and it execute line by line. To understand JVM architecture, we need to understand how the whole process works. So when JRE is ready for execution bytecode, so how process starts? There is role of class loader, and class loader uses memory access allocation, which is controlled by JVM, and it contains class area, heap, stack, PC register, and native method stack. So what area means class area contains? It contains codes, functions of bytecode. And what heap contains? Whatever objects are created in bytecode are stored in heap, and local variables are stored in stack, and PC register keeps instruction, and whatever native codes are present that are stored in native method stack. Then there is role of execution engine, and after execution engine there is intercommunication between native method interface, and finally Java native libraries participates, and your actual hardware runs the code and you can see the output. So how process starts? JRE allocates one instance of JVM, and JVM manages loading process, memory management, and execution engine, and it provides native interface. Finally, hardware completes the whole task. Now we try to know what are different components of JVM. So one component is class loader, and class loaders is a subsystem of JVM which is used to load class files. Whenever we run the Java program, it is loaded first by the class loader. There are three built-in class loaders in Java. One is Bootstrap class loader, extension class loader, and system application class loader. So definitions are present in java.lang package, and what java.lang packages contains means net packages, classes, and various other utilities are present. So first Bootstrap class loader is called, then extension, and then third one is your system application class loader. Second component of JVM is your class area or memory area, which contains various components. So components are what? Class area, and in class area what we keep, it stores class structures such as runtime, constant, pool, field, and methods data, and code for methods. And what heap contains? Heap contains the objects which are created or allocated in running the program. And what stack keeps? Stack keeps your local variables. And program counters register contains the address of the Java virtual machine instruction which are used in executing the program. And other components are like native method stack. It contains all the native methods used in application. Execution engine, it contains virtual processor, interpreter, which interprets code line by line. There is just in time compiler, which optimizes the code and execute in faster manner. Then there is Java native interface to run codes which are written in other languages, and it keeps OS libraries also. So what is the full process of writing any Java code? To write any Java code, first of all we install JDK, we set path, Java home path and bin path in environment variable. Then we write Java code. How we write Java code? For code writing we use any editor. So for simplest Java code writing we use Java means Notepad, that is freely available. We write code, Java code in Notepad, and we save that file with the name of Java class, and extension which we give is .java. And we compile, we open command prompt, we compile the program using javac. And if our file name is welcome.java, then how do we compile? We compile using javac welcome.java. And once there is no error, then we execute our program. How do we execute our program? We write Java, then welcome. What is welcome here? Welcome is a bytecode file, and we can see the output of Java file. How does JRE work? To understand how the JRE works, let us consider a Java source file saved with welcome.java. So once we compile it, it becomes welcome.class file. Then following action occurs at runtime. Then class loader loads the class, and bytecoder verifier verifies the bytecode and checks the format and checks illegal code. Illegal codes for execution is code that violates access rights on objects or violates the implementation of pointer. So pointers are not allowed in Java, and Java execution is bound in its sandbox area. It cannot cross the boundary of JDK. So your bytecode verifiers take care of all these things. So in Java execution model, we can see there is source code, then compiler, then after compilation there is bytecode, and depend upon the CPUs and different operating system, we use different JVMs and execute our programs. Similarly, we can also design drivers of different hardwares with the help of Java. So to run that, we require one chip and its driver that will execute based upon the machine and requirement. So in this image, we will understand how things happen at runtime. Means JRE allocates one instance of JVM, then class loader plays its role, then bytecode verifier comes, then interpreter executes code, then runtime, and obviously at runtime your JVM interacts with actual hardware of the machine, and we are able to see its output. So if graphically we see how things are possible, there are two parts. One left part contains bytecode generation, and second one means right part says how your bytecode runs. So left part is your platform independent part, and right part is your platform dependent part. And compilation, then your example dot java will be converted into example dot class file. Then you load from hard disk or from any network, or you can send your bytecode through internet to any other place, but at that place you want your runtime environment, and at that time your JRE and JVM works and you get output. So in this figure also we can see the whole working of your Java program, how you're writing your source code, then how JDK works, how compiler and where is compiler, how Java bytecode transfers, and how your Justin compiler and Java virtual machine interacts with your hardware and you get output. So JRE is very important component for execution, and to build a complete application we require JDK. And the next topic which we are going to cover is JVM as an interpreter and emulator. So if we understand what is interpreter and emulator is actually a machine, but in case of Java it is not actually physical machine but is a logical machine which work as a complete machine. A simple interpreter translates different statements line by line, and once there is no error in that line, then execution of next line takes place. And how this happens with the help of emulator. Emulator works as a logical machine and help in translating the code. So how this is happening? This is happening, your Java code is transferred into bytecode, and bytecode is represented with the extension dot class. So hello dot class file is there. Now to transfer that file in emulator, and what is emulator? Emulator is just your JVM, and which processes the bytecode and generates the output. So we say emulator because it is like a machine. Its work is like a machine work, and after the completion of the emulator work we get the right output. So thank you very much. In nutshell, if we want to define things for Java running, what we need need to download JDK, Java Development Kit, that contains JRE, and JRE contains JVM, and JVM is responsible for executing bytecode, and bytecodes are platform independent. So thank you very much. In next lecture we will discuss some other important topics.